Hey, what's up, guys? So, didn't want to do it. I hate these kinds of videos, but we got to do it apparently because there are way too many people that are upset with something that Logan Paul has been accused of, while they themselves very likely support things significantly worse and on many more occasions. These videos get very uninteresting for me. You know, there's some crazy thing that occurs with a particular celebrity where they do something that involves animal cruelty, and then the entire internet freaks out and calls this person an animal abuser, thinks that they are a cruel person, while they themselves support pretty much the worst oppression on the planet in regards to animals, and I would say any kind of oppressed group. So that's what we're going to cover today. For those of you who don't know, Ethan Klein here shared a couple images of Logan Paul, and it says, okay, now can we all agree? Fuck Logan Paul. And it shows a post from him talking about Pearl, a quote mini pig that he bought years ago, which he thought would just be a mini pig. But as always with these celebrities trying to buy mini pigs for clout and share how cute they are, the pig ended up not being so mini after it ended up growing like pigs tend to. And then this farm, which by the way are called the Gentle Barn, they're amazing people. I recommend you go follow them. And from what I can gather, they are a vegan farm, or sanctuary, I should say. They said Pearl was found in a field next to another pig who had passed away. She came to us with tattered ears and a potentially life-threatening infection in her uterus that has since been healed. She's clearly been through so much trauma that we can't begin to imagine, but she's now safe with us at the Gentle Barn. And then they go on to say that from what we've been told, it's believed she was purchased originally from a breeder by an influencer. People often buy, quote, mini pigs or teacup pigs for clout online, believing they will stay small. When they inevitably grow very large and have many unexpected needs, they're sadly discarded. While we don't know everything she's been through in her past, we know her life is now filled with friends, nutritious foods, and the highest quality care and so much love. And by the way, this is the Gentle Barn Sanctuary. I will put their links in the description because they are awesome and what they're doing is amazing. So yeah, the idea is that Logan Paul ended up buying this pig and then abandoned them. Now that's not totally clear. Many people who are Logan Paul fans are saying that it was established that he ended up actually giving away this pig to somebody else. But anybody familiar with what it's like to have to give up a pet of yours, you know that you need to be very, very precautionary about who you ended up doing this with. And it looks like from this that Logan Paul was irresponsible in who he decided to give away Pearl to. But the main narrative that people are spreading is that Logan Paul just left Pearl out to be abandoned, and obviously that makes him look like a giant piece of shit. Now, if he did that, obviously super fucked up. If he gave away Pearl to someone irresponsibly who ended up doing that, obviously super fucked up on both parts. Now, there were so many people that were upset about this, so I made a tweet saying, I wonder how many people rightfully upset with this simultaneously pay for pigs to be put into gas chambers because, quote, bacon tastes good. Now, although Ethan is Jewish and may not consume pork, I did find this food review he did of pig feed with iDubbbz back in 2017. I know it's kind of far away and not, too present, but at the same time, I have not seen any evidence of Ethan not consuming pork anymore. So of course the idea is like, well, if you are so upset with somebody abandoning Pearl, how can you pay for pigs to be put into gas chambers because you like the way that they taste? Now, some of the knee-jerk reactions to this is, well, it's different because what we do to pigs then is for food. And we all know that if Logan Paul was caught actually slaughtering Pearl to eat Pearl, people would be just as disgusted with his actions. And also, you're really missing the point of what animal rights are supposed to be when you say things like that. You think that an animal's rights should be contingent upon whether or not a human being decides that they want to eat them? Obviously not. Pearl being processed for food or Pearl being used to just be sort of like a companion, both entail Pearl being an individual who has desires that should be fulfilled, a being that has well-being, that can suffer and should be taken care of. The idea that because we intend to use them for food justifies just throwing them in a gas chamber or bulk gunning them and knocking them unconscious and then slicing their throat is just insane. Again, we all know that if Logan Paul ended up just treating Pearl like many people pay for pigs to be treated to become bacon, that people would be just as upset. And of course, super hypocritically. Now here's some responses I saw because, I said earlier, I wonder how many of these people end up paying for pigs to be thrown in gas chambers who are so upset with Logan for doing this. There's this guy named Luke Sawhook who said, how could you just get rid of such a sweet animal? And then if you go to his profile, you see him here saying Whopper, 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 Whopper Jr., double, triple, Whopper, Impossible, or Bacon Whopper. Something ruled this day at Burger King. Have it your way, you rule. Just promoting, food that entails bacon. which entails pigs being massacred for pleasure. Amazing. Then there's this person saying, Logan Paul, it's on site, like on site, we're fighting, whatever. She's obviously upset with him. And then you have here from 2019, I love the Austrian twist on the English breakfast where everything is wrapped in bacon. And if you don't know, bacon, once again, is gas chambered / murdered pig. Okay, so this person's upset with Logan Paul for abandoning a pig, allegedly. And here they are talking about how much they love this product, which when you pay for it, you support pigs being massacred and treated horribly. Then there's Love, who works for the H3 podcast. I'm actually very aware of him because I do watch the H3 podcast regularly when they're regularly producing content, saying his dog also ate his bird, which is true. And this is all very ironic because Love is also known on the H3 podcast to just love fried chicken, which obviously comes from birds. But I guess, it's okay to eat birds if you're going to turn them into fried chicken and massacre their corpse. But this is bad though. Just a lot of double standards. And there's this person, make sure that the person you give your beloved animal to is a good person. Regardless of the case, he was irresponsible. He has a passive irresponsible behavior when it comes to pet ownership. So this is kind of what I was referring to before about how people are saying, well, even if he didn't end up abandoning this animal and gave it to somebody, he gave it to somebody in a very irresponsible way because the person obviously wasn't fit to take care of Pearl. And then you have the same guy here saying, making twice baked potatoes is not fun. Bake the potatoes, hollow them, scoop everything you can without damaging, mash potatoes, refill the skins, add cheese and bacon. Bake again. Oh, and also I made ribs, which very likely comes from pigs. We have him saying, no shortage of vegetarian food at Walmart. Tried vegetarian bacon. Nope. Vegan bacon. Funny. I don't know what that's referring to. Fry bacon. We have a clear bacon advocate here who was upset with the way in which Logan Paul took care of Pearl while they themselves pay for pigs to be massacred and thrown in gas chambers. Amazing. We have somebody named Isla, don't know who this is, says breaks my heart and shares the TikTok from the Gentle Barn talking about Pearl and how they found her abandoned. And then we have somebody saying, at Buc-ee's, y'all want anything? And then the same person says barbecue bacon burger. Okay, so, breaks my heart, but then when they go to somewhere like Buc-ee's, they're going to be consuming things like a barbecue bacon burger, which required a pig to be treated horribly. I wonder if that breaks her heart. Probably not. We also have Def Noodles here saying, Logan Paul's pig found nearly dead, abandoned and maimed. Absolutely disgusting. So clearly he has some sort of concern for pigs. And then over here we have him trying sisig tacos, which is a Filipino type food, which is derived from, you guessed it, chopped pig parts and chicken livers tossed with spicy and sour dressing. Keyword, pig parts. So yeah, like I said, this content isn't super interesting to cover. It's basically just me sitting here pointing out people so upset with the mistreatment of an animal while they themselves support harsher treatment on a continuous basis, possibly every day. It's very simple, guys. If you take issue with what Logan Paul allegedly did to Pearl, which was abandon her and leave her to be maimed possibly by predators and obviously suffer, ask yourself how you can be so against that while also paying for pigs to be put into factory farms, to be gas chambered and slaughtered for bacon. And if not factory farms, if a more, quote, humane farm, still ask yourself how it's ethical to take the animal's life when there's no clear indication of them wanting to die. If Logan Paul had taken care of Pearl for a significant amount of time and then ended up slaughtering her for bacon, would you be upset? If you're one of these people that are like, well, what about farms that treat their pigs nicely before taking their lives prematurely? Probably not. So how can you appeal to that in the case of farming a pig nicely and killing them against their will at 1/4 their natural lifespan? I was going to cover this new video from Ethan covering the issue himself in the format that I'm covering this right now, but it's not really that interesting. It's just another example of somebody who perpetually pays for animals to be abused because he thinks they taste good, getting upset at somebody like Logan Paul for allegedly harming an animal for just as trivial of reasons. All right, guys, that's the end of the video. Hopefully we can get some people to make the connection here and realize that if they're upset with Logan Paul for what he did, they should probably not support the worst oppression on the planet for pigs. And by the way, this extends to animals like chickens and cows and any sentient being that people are paying for to be mass commodified, exploited, confined, subjugated, and murdered. And yes, I said murder because there's definitions of murder which apply to what we do to animals. And let me just say I'm Jewish before I say what I'm about to say because it's going to offend some people. But what these pigs are going through is a Holocaust. It matches the definition of the word Holocaust when not talking about the historical event. So yeah, it's fair to say definitionally that these people are supporting a Holocaust of pigs while being upset with Logan Paul for allegedly abandoning a singular pig. If you don't see the double standard, I don't know what to say. That's the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you support my work and want to get early access to it, you can click the link in the pinned comment and support me on Patreon. And if you don't know, I do have a book going over most, if not all, of the anti-vegan arguments you're going to hear online. If you want to get access to that as well, that'll be linked in the pinned comment. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Dude,
fuck off. I don't want anything to do with you. Don't ever speak to me again. You're a fucking piece of shit.
even vegans don't get your weird, stupid wannabe sense of irony here. Who is your audience? Nobody gets these dumb jokes. Dude,